Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Thursday edition of Today in Sports Betting. Taking a look at the NBA with my partner in crime, Mr. Scott Reichel. Scott, how you doing, buddy? You okay with the Knicks getting eliminated?
It was definitely a fun ride with the Knicks unders. Undefeated, and I salute them. So thank you. I'll save the bowing for Trae Young. I'll give him a salute. And yeah, thanks for not playing offense in basically any of the 5 games.
Dreadful. Just a dreadful showing.
Shout out to Capella, by the way. Randomly backed up his trash talk. I don't know why he started it. I don't know what was the story there. Put up 14 and 15, and they only gave up 89 points. Props to them.
Yep, absolutely. Capella did his thing. Trae Young did his thing.
I loved the bow and everything. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great stuff. He fully embraced the villain role, and yeah. I was all in for it. Also, a shout out to Spike Lee for leaving with 3 minutes to go. He's probably the biggest Knicks fan of all time, and he left early.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, that stings.
Is that a bad look or no?
Nah, who cares?
It's not as bad as LeBron leaving early, but I'm curious. Is that season?
No, it's not nearly as bad.
Is that season tickets for what? Like 30-something years?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Because you leave with 3 minutes to go when a team wasn't expected to even make the playoffs.
Just saying. I know. You could have stayed and given him a nice ovation for a surprisingly good season, and done the classy thing. But
truth is, if I was a fan, first of all, if I was a Knicks fan, I probably wouldn't have gone to the game just because of the sheer pain and misery that you've had to actually suffer watching them play. But I probably would have left early too.
Well, and if you're in a lot of towns, you go, well, I got to beat the traffic, but it's New York, so.
Truth is that I probably would have left once Trae Young hit the bowing 3. I would have already started the car. I would have been done.
You mean that metaphorically because you're not driving to the Garden and parking, right?
Correct. You're taking the train. But I'm saying I'm out. I'm already in Penn Station.
Fair enough. All right, my friend. Well, let's take a look. We got 2 games tonight, and Scott, we figured it out before. We just got 1 game tomorrow night, so.
Damn thrilled. Clippers, man.
Not thrilled.
Damn
what do you wanted a night off?
Damn Clippers, man.
They're so not good. All right, so let's take a look and see what we've got on the agenda for today, shall we? I know it's going to be, once again, we get to see the West, Scott, programming executives of TNT and NBA and ABC. They have to love this, that they have no teams from the East to show tomorrow night. So let's get it started in here. Oh, how about a nice start time for the Trailblazers? Hey, Trailblazers, sorry that all the teams from the East got knocked out, but go suck a bag of dicks because you're going to start at 5 o'clock local time. How's that?
When you have 2 games in the West, it's the only 2 games on the card. You got to get creative.
Yeah, well, they've certainly been creative as they've made the Denver Nuggets Portland Trailblazers a little happy hour special there at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
After a double overtime game.
Exactly. So opened up at 5, Scott, pretty much 5 across the board, 228.5, come down to 227.5 in most spots.
Now, I know both of us subscribe to the zigzag theory.
Well, you have to be careful because the zigzag theory, it's still the thing you have to look at, but it really hasn't been super profitable since like the 90s.
Oh, no, I just mean solely because we think the series is going 7.
Yeah.
So based on that, we like the zigzag theory, but
and it's held true so far because Portland stole the first game, and Denver was down 0-1. Zigzag theory says 75% of the time the higher seeded team wins that second game. They did that, and then the rinse, lather, repeat. It repeated itself when they went to Portland. So we'll see.
Well, it actually flipped in Portland because Denver won game 3, and then Portland.
Right. But then Portland had to rally. It had to win the 4th game at home, so it did the same thing.
Yeah, the team that's down 1 has won the game.
Correct, and on their home court. So now the team that's down 1 goes back to their home court. Zigzag theory holds, Scott?
I think Portland wins, but I look at the spread and I kind of scratch my head. I don't really understand.
Are the lice back?
No.
Okay, good.
I need a haircut though. But
Uda.
I think 5's a little bit much. And I know that Portland blew out Denver in the last game that they played in Portland. And maybe the logic is Denver might just, I don't want to say punt this game, but they might just say, we always have game 7 in our back pocket back in Ball Arena. If we get down early, we can just mail it in, kind of like what they did in game 4. And I think that is kind of the thought process there. But doesn't this seem a little bit high at 5? Like, these teams have been pretty closely matched.
Yeah, I agree. But I think they look at that last game there in Portland, where Portland ended up winning by, 15?
It felt like 45.
I know. It really did. It really wasn't that close.
It was one of the worst games of the playoffs.
And Lillard had 10.
Yep.
So I think maybe they're looking at the possibility that Lillard could perhaps have more than 10.
I'm just saying, what was Denver favored in the last game? They were favored by 2?
1.5. 1.5 or 2, yeah, depending on where you got it.
That sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it?
When you got it. Comparing
Denver's home court advantage, or the lack thereof apparently, to Portland, 5 sounds really high.
It does, but that's but they read the market correctly so far, because that's where they opened it, that's where it sits. And you know what? I like it. I'll throw the 5. I'm ready to do it.
I'm not taking Denver. For me, we both think that Portland's going to win the game, so I'm not going to take Denver and get cute with it. So I'm going Portland, but I do think that the spread is either A, really dumb on the opener, or B, it's a trap line of all trap lines, and they're just daring you to take Denver. And I think it's probably the latter.
That's my hunch. That's my hunch. At a certain time, you watch these series, especially as they get to game 6, game 7, you can spot some trends with totals are a little bit easier. But, at some point, it's right about now, you just kind of got to go with your gut. You've got to go with what you've seen in the first 5 games, and you've got to go with what you think is going to happen in this one. And I just think that Portland goes back home. I think that crowd's fired up. I think Lillard's got another big one in him. You talked about playing the Lillard total over 33.5. Jam that like there's no tomorrow.
It's juice to the over. It's about -120 on FanDuel. But I know they won with him only scoring 10 points in the last home game. That's not going to happen again, especially since McCollum looks like his confidence is completely shot. So I got to assume Lillard is going to shoot a ton, and he'll probably make a lot of shots.
Yep, I would agree. Although, I will say in McCollum's defense,
he's averaging like 20-something points.
Yeah, he's averaging 21 points a game. So
the efficiency hasn't been there, and he's taken some really dumb shots late in games.
I understand, but it's not like he's turned into Schroeder or Pope.
Yeah, he's actually put the ball in the basket. But if you just watch the games, you can tell McCollum has been a disaster late in these games.
Well, that's why they have Lillard. They don't have to worry about McCollum. So
until Lillard passes the ball to McCollum in double overtime.
Steps out of bounds. Jesus.
Yep, but I'm looking at Portland, but I think we can agree on one thing in this game. It's over, Pass. I know you've had a couple of low-scoring quarters and maybe a low-scoring game or two, but at no point has either team actually looked comfortable defensively, besides the one Portland game where Denver shot a combined 34% from the floor.
Yeah.
So I think that was more of just Denver not showing up.
Yep.
But Jokic can do whatever he wants. Jokic's total's like 32.5. I don't like the under there. I'll tell you that much. I'm not going to slam the over, but both of these guys can go for 40, and it wouldn't surprise me. Porter Jr.'s been good in this series for the most part. You look at Powell, he's been good. If Nurkic stays out of foul trouble, then he's also been pretty good. I just like the over because they're looking at a game where both teams need to get to around 113. I think both teams can get to 120.
I don't know who the people are that's pounding the under right now, but there you go. 60% of the money's come in on the under so far in this one. So, yeah, it's probably the same people that pound the LA Lakers over.
I think if you like the under in this game, get it in play because you have had a lot of high-scoring first quarters in this series. You can probably get a better number after the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, you could probably get 230 or so.
I saw the Lakers game against the Suns, which ended up going way under. I think the live total in that game was like 220 because they had like 60 points in the first quarter or something.
We're close. They're in the 50s. Yeah, they had
that. It was like 220 something on the live. I'm like, that's just free money if you take the under.
Yeah, you take some money. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Suns-Lakers, Scott. Second game there starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, we got to do our full speculation with no information at all. Does Anthony Davis play?
Yeah.
That's where it starts and ends when it comes to this analysis. Does he play?
Well, there's another factor in this one too.
Well, we can get into that one in a second. But first of all, we'll start off with Anthony Davis.
I don't know. It's a quick conversation, Scott. They haven't had an update since early this morning or early on Wednesday morning. Unless you've talked to Anthony Davis's doctor or have some inside information on the team, I got nothing to add. He's questionable.
According to reports, he's, quote, getting better each day. Well, I hope he's not getting worse each day.
All right, buddy. Thanks for clearing that up.
You have the trainers and the medical staff on him. It would be weird if he was getting worse every day. So that quote means absolutely nothing. I think Davis might play.
Yeah.
I got to assume he's a full decoy. I don't really know how a guy who is that, I'd say, just valuable on both sides of the floor, especially defensively and on the glass, is really going to be that mobile, especially guarding pick and rolls when he can't really move properly laterally. But on the other hand, Chris Paul's injured again because he re-aggravated the shoulder injury last game and he barely played. But I do think that the Suns can overcome that because Payne has been really good in this series.
Yeah.
So, of course, Chris Paul brings a certain leadership and a certain IQ to the actual team, but Payne's been really good, and the Lakers can't guard him.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so Payne takes over for CP3, all right? So maybe you lose 15%.
Of what?
Well, he's 85% as good as Chris Paul.
Yeah, but you make an argument based on Chris Paul's health right now, they might be borderline even?
No, yeah, sure, but I'm talking full strength.
Full strength, I would say probably 15, maybe a little bit more because I do like Chris Paul a lot. So
all right, well, let me make my point.
Say 20, but yeah.
Who plays for Anthony Davis?
Well, that's the point, is that the Lakers, if he doesn't play or he's limited, they're dead to rights unless LeBron goes Cavaliers LeBron mode.
Well, who plays for Anthony Davis? Who starts? Kuzma?
I was expecting to see a lot more Marc Gasol last game, and I didn't see much of him.
Okay, so what do you lose with Marc Gasol instead of Anthony Davis?
Athleticism, shooting.
40%.
Yeah, probably. I think the defense, you can argue, might be close, but then the Lakers' defense got torched last game. So, truth is, I think it's also a mental thing. If Davis isn't going to play in this game, I am curious if the Lakers just check out if they go down early, because it was really ugly last game. And I know that it's different in the Staples Center and they're going to get a spark from the home crowd. Yeah. But if they go down early and AD, of course, is either really ineffective or just doesn't do anything, is LeBron potentially just going to check out like he did last game? I'm assuming no, because it's an elimination game.
I'd like to think the pride takes over and he does everything he can, but that's
what I would assume as well. But you gotta talk about it. I gotta.
Day and age, you're dealing with divas like that. I don't know, man.
I don't know. You might just look at his team. You see Schroeder go 0 for his first 5, and he just goes, "I don't want to be here. Like I'm just done. Like give me the off season. I'll rehab my ankle, and we'll move on from this."
All right, so it's time to make a pick, Scott. Rubber on the road. We don't know anything right now. We're probably not going to know anything until this afternoon. So let's make a pick. What do you got?
I've been preaching one thing in the entire playoffs. Take Knicks unders, rest in peace, and take Lakers unders. They're both undefeated. Even if the Lakers game goes over, you have still made so many damn units. What are you, 11-0 at this point?
This team can't score, man.
No, they can't score, and defensively, they can't be any worse than they were last.
They've put up 109 twice, and both times Davis went for 34 and Schroeder went for 20+. Now, do you think if the defense doesn't have to worry about Davis, they're going to let Schroeder go for 25? Probably not.
Plus, Davis being out is, replacing 30-something points of production?
Yeah.
I mean, that's painful.
I mean, Gasol puts up 15 on a great night.
My advice would be if you think the Lakers actually do well with scoring, just take the LeBron over. Because if they're going to go over their team total, LeBron's going to have to go for 30.
Yeah, I think they're done. The Blazers game goes to 7. This one does not.
I will never say that LeBron's done until I see them lose because I have fallen for that trap way too many times over the last decade and a half.
I know.
But looking at the spread, I have no idea how the Lakers are laying points. I know that they're the home team, and I know that the Staples Center, is a loud place. They cannot be laying points in this game.
In fairness, it's come down. It opened at 3. It's down to 2.
So. It better come down. You can make an argument. If it was Pick'em, I can understand.
Would you now, Scott? Would you at 207.5 or 208? Would you play the under, or would you wait for that stupid Lakers money to come in on the over?
I'm waiting until the morning. Now, of course, I might do it for a play of the day, so I might not have a choice when it comes to waiting. But money's coming in on the over in the morning because money's come in every game on the over.
So stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I forgot what the total is. The Knicks and the Lakers now, including the playing games, are 11-0 to the under, or like 10-0 to the under, or something.
Yeah, off the closing number, I think that is correct.
I've been all over it. So yeah, I'll take the under. And as for the side, I really hate going against LeBron, but I don't know how you can watch that game in Game 5 and say, you know what? Let's give the Suns 2 points. I'm lost right now. What do you think the spread should be? I think it should be closer to Pick'em.
Yep.
I don't know.
I agree. I totally agree. Give me this. Give me the Suns on a small play. Give me the under on a big play.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to sprinkle anything on a LeBron player prop, or you just think there's a chance he might throw in the towel again.
I don't want any part of that. We thought he'd show up last game and he didn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'll double up on my Dame prop.
Okay, that works too. But I think we both agree on the under, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, as always, folks, you're looking for more information on these games or any other games. Well, there are no other games, at least as far as the NBA goes. So, yeah, we're it. But if you're looking for a different opinion on these games, make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives and predictions into every game every single day. And you know what? We wish you guys nothing but the best today. Hope you take these picks. Hope you put those tickets in your pocket and hope they all turn into cash money when you head back to the window. For myself, for Scott, for all of us that were here on the team Winners and Whiners, we appreciate you guys watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you right around the corner on our MLB video on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.